math, so, you know, there's equal balance, all things in equilibrium and all that.
Absolutely true. Doesn't need a lot of math to work out that One.PoinT are in a very good position in this series. 2 map wins over We Have Org. Jumping to the third map. They're on defense first, and they're running the Goats. No shock there. We Have Org. Experimenting for the time being. Will they commit to this coming out the gates?
Yeah, we saw a lot of this yesterday, what we were calling the Sombra dive, where you have those dive tanks. It's a bit different in this. Hang on, I was about to say what's changing.
No, he's not
right
playing
here.
Mercy. There was no Mercy, no reason to pick Mercy there.
No Mercy for Mercy, please. Don't. Let's not do that. So it's going to be Moira coming out instead, and everything's changing back up again. So now actually we have Org are mixing the comp up time and time again. One.PoinT playing the safe pick here, I think, in terms of playing Goats, because you don't know what they're going to throw at you. If you play Goats, then, well,
you don't have the option of changing.
Yep, if we saw Goats coming out, well, we did see Goats coming out on the attacking side yesterday, completely hard shut down by Junkrat and the Hanzo, for example. So today, well, stick to what Safe tried testing on defense. Just say, well, let's hold as far forward as we can. Don't give them any room to even move and see what happens. We have Org now being forced to match them on Goats, and, well, we all know how that story goes. Matching
on Goats, it looks like it's going over to One.PoinT already. Horfik and Spoxes already trading blows as Horfik and Hardest being the frag leaders for One.PoinT. Walking over We Have Org, pushing them back to the spawn room, already burning a minute of their time bank.
Nice and easy, absolutely. Super Pluka 65% towards the Earthshatter as well. These are the big ults you're looking for, because although it's not really a chokey style map, you're looking to kind of form an artificial choke here in between these two doors. Commonly you'll see teams charge right or charge left and try and flank up to the high ground, but in this case, One.PoinT is saying, we're not even going to let you do that, you're staying right here and we're going to hold you at this choke.
On that corner for now. No fast map movements coming out from We Have Org. They did find Scalar. Kanga taking out their Zenyatta might give a moment of pause. Kanga does have that Transcendence online. They're going to commit to it in this fight. They really want to press the advantage of having that extra person on the map. They've made that a 2-man advantage. Make it 3. 12s and Spoxes cleaning it up. This looks like a point capture for We Have Org.
Absolutely does. We spoke a lot yesterday about support ultimate usage, and Transcendence especially, using it aggressive is almost never something you do unless you know that you want to safely go stupidly aggressive and try and crush the other side. And as soon as Kanga hit about 98%, I pointed, I was like, that's about to come online. And as soon as it did, he hit that Q key, saved his tanks who were going quite low from the harassment, and they immediately charged forward, knowing there was no trans online for Scalar, and flat out won from that alone. So they get a nice quick cap onto the first point. They now have 6 minutes to siege this second point, and One.PoinT, well, they've only got 6 ultimates to hold them off.
It wasn't about Scalar not having a Transcendence, it's about Scalar not having a life. He just killed him. Like, you have an extra man on the field and you have no Orb of Discord, no Orb of Harmony, no extra damage. Like, that's a lot to remove from a team composition. Graviton Surge, going in, self-destruct up high, Fat's already taking that chance, there's no shield. Hardest, he's going to burn through him before that mech even lands, only getting a D-mech on the side of Krem. So, momentum play has been killed. We Have Org going to have to try and do this from a start. From a stop.
From a stop. It's always what hurts, but really stalling Krem's out long here as well.
I mean, it's not, we've seen worse stalls. There's no Reinhardt charges that don't actually connect to pins.
No,
so
that last feat was beautiful.
Don't worry about it, Krems. That's light in terms of Horizon stalls.
The one thing that always hurts me about seeing teams play against Hardest is that you know he's playing aggressively. You know how fast he's charging these grabs because of how often they win these fights. Yet your D.Va isn't always paying attention to him in these grabs. Like, he's firing the point-blank range into your team. All you got to do is watch the guy hold down right-click when he goes for it. But for the most part, they're being missed.
Just hold right-click.
Just hold right-click.
That's simple, isn't it, right? Super quick, he's got that shadow online, going to put it straight into the shield. Nice dash from Chubb. They're going for their own combo now. Nice charge at the right time, finds Super Quick and Horfik with that self-destruct. They got bodies on the point. Difference being from point A is now the spawn advantage in favour of One.PoinT. They can get these reinforcements out. They need the decisive team fight win to make this happen. And when you've got support ultimates being layered outside from spawn, and you've got Horfik coming in to try and contest, he's getting onto the point and stalling more time on this Doomfist, knocking Kanga up. But they're ultimately still going to take him out. They're going to keep throwing bodies at that point, but I think We Have Org have done enough to complete the round.
Very decisive as well, and that's the first time we've seen them really execute such a clean combo. Both tanks being caught up in it as well. They ate the shadow coming out of Super Pluke, and I understand why he did it. You see them trying to rush aggressively in. They might get excited and think, oh, we can win this fight right now. You get the shadow down when the shield is down and you win the fight, but Chubbs had brains, and we saw in the final shadow of that fight as well. Catching 3 or 4 people off to the left-hand side of the point was more than enough for We Have Org to win those 2 fights back-to-back, thanks to all the big tank ults we saw coming out of the team. And while they get rewarded with a nice tidy 4 minutes 11, which is basically what they had at the start of the round.
I like the implication of that statement is that before Chubbs did that, he didn't have brains. That's what's implied massively, but you got to remember, This guy's still playing at an Overwatch Contenders level, right? Like,
in that play, I'll only have brains. I'm not talking about any other play. There is no implication here to what the state of his brains were prior to that.
Yeah, just because of the implication.
Absolutely. Well, you tell me, right? If a Reinhardt against arguably the best tank team in Contenders can block a Shadow and then catch 4 members with a Shadow immediately afterwards, is that not good enough? I'd say it's pretty big brain.
It is good. I didn't contest whether it was good.
You said it was, okay, the brains thing there. Big brain. That's what I like to say.
Bigger brain.
Bigger brain. Absolutely. Bigger brain than Super Fluke there, which has not been commonplace so far, you might say. Definitely been the advantage going across to 1 point, but we have all with a round like that definitely put themselves in a good spot. Now,
Bigger brain coming into this map.
Bigger brain or inting brain, it's kind of hard to decide which side is at force right now. Bastion, I'm really not sure on. We saw a team yesterday employ, in fact, it was the team with Danny. No, it wasn't Danny. Who was it who played it yesterday? I can't remember who played Hanzo so much. It was one of the teams we casted yesterday. They employed it here and rolled with it hard. It was Hanzo, and Junkrat did a great job. Bastion, I find, is a bit too static, and to be fair, it might be a nice idea, because 1 point, that means now we'll be forced to play.
They're forcing out dive straight away.
That's exactly it.
They've gone over.
This is what I was going to say. If you know that they're going to play goats and that is their strongest comp, what can you do to make them uncomfortable? You place them, which makes them move off it. You run goats into Bastion, you will have a hard time.
But you're playing against spawn advantage. That's the thing. So they look at that and go, oh, cool, we'll just change before you burn any time back, get in the ult charge, and we'll ultimately come out with a better composition, because we have that luxury of change.
Yeah. It's a bit of an interesting mix on dive, mind you. It's single DPS in this case, though, still with a triple tank coming through. Because rather than the Sombre, you've got a Genji.
Well, they're trying to break through the line. Superfluke already being just pelleted by Twal. Is going to be barraging him, looking like Swiss cheese, unfortunately. They've retreated back onto the points. They've lost that high ground, which does have its own advantage. Orphic getting very close to his ultimate already, 75%. He can move in with a Dragon Blade and burst through Twals. Maybe some of the supports there backing him up, because he is getting pocketed by Kara and Kanga.
The one thing you've got to deal with potentially is that nano boost going through onto one of the squishier targets, because not only does it give them that 300 HP, it also gives you the damage reduction, so you can ignore a lot of that damage that the Horfit will be throwing at you and kill him just in time.
Twal's got his own ultimate. You can nano boost him and put him into that fight. Here's Horfit going, he takes him out before anything happens. Spots is going down. You've got no DPS. All the bite has been taken from your composition by Horfit, swinging in there with his weave stick.
This is like an Onyx using Bide in Pokemon. Just over time, you're building up more and more. You're being battered as a Brigitte week after week after week. You get given the chance to play Genji, and you clean.
You're just letting his frustration out.
Exactly. Twal's there brought out the ultimate on the Bastion. I thought, oh, surely they'll win this one. As I heard Horfit pull Blade, he cut through that Bastion before he could do a thing. Beautiful focus out of Horfit, and now straight back into Brig Jail.
Yeah, I was going to say, it reminds me of that the Killer song, coming out of my jail, and I've been feeling, coming out of my cage, and I've been feeling just fine.
He's been doing just fine, that much is for sure. But now they're back onto the more standard setup. In fact, they're playing Monkey Goats, as we call it, or Winston Goats, where they are still going to be running the Winston instead of the Reinhardt. Not really the strongest combo, but they've got a Riptide coming out, Tridd.
Yeah, it's taking a bit of a detour, but it hoping to, well, it's not going to find its destination. Punch a tire, hardest being that nail in the road to shut it all down. Self-destruct being thrown into the back line. Krems is dropping his on the point. Spots is being caught out. He probably wants to change off the Junkrat anyway in this instance. We're going to have Superfluke locked down into one place, trying to throw his hands around. He's not going to be able to get anywhere. He jumps back onto the point. Still trying to get some clearance. He's going after Kara. Back going to hit him with the burn with that left flip. They're now trying to find more here to make this more decisive. They're getting progress. They're about to hit that first third. They can clear off Mr. Spoxes, which they've done. So now it's about climbing and getting that one hundo. Kanga can't even get out the spawn room. I don't know how he's going to help here. Look at this. 12 on the Doomfist. Going to take out Scaler, but nothing else. There's 1 point still on here. Looking to finish it with a time bank. 1 minute extra in the tank. But Chubb is going to stall it out, burn some more time. Here comes Wrecking Ball. Spoxes pops the shield as well. Manages to hit multiple people, so the shield is stronger, but ultimately booped off. So 1 point going to complete as well. They have a little bit more in the time bank.
Yeah, Kanga saying on the Ana there, you're playing a big risk even trying to get out of spawn in the first place. Maybe going for something like...
He didn't get out of spawn.
That's exactly it, yeah. Trying to get out of spawn when you're playing on the Mei against the Winston Goats is the Mei? The Ana was a big risk. And Mei would have been the pick I would have looked towards there, just for some more stall time. You're aware they've got full control of the point, but you do finish here with 55-second advantage, or 54 if you're counting, in advantage to 1 point. So we have Org with the shorter time back, get to have their next attack first. They completed it once in less than 4 minutes. Can they do it again?
Good question. 4 minutes 11. So they got 11 extra seconds. Didn't use all their time last time, so a little bit extra. 1.PoinT probably going to go for a more standard defense. I don't know if we have all will commit to the Bastion again.
I mean, if we have all on attack, I was going to say, yeah, they're on attack right now, so yeah, that's the next round.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying I don't know if they're going to commit to it. It's still curious to me whether they'll commit to that defense on their defensive attempt afterwards.
I'm surprised, well, somewhat surprised that 1.PoinT have chose to go for the GOATs again, because they've held it for long enough that we have all figured, okay, if we can get a pick here, then we can go for the win, right? And yes, there were a lot of things that kind of fell together for them.
Mistake, that's more of just like
it is an accidental mistake, but the thing is, because they're holding the choke, we have all can afford to play a bit more defensively and go for those picks from not so much further away, because ultimately 1.PoinT can chase them down, but you put yourself at a risk by going for that big engage when you know there's a potential for a mistake to be made, and that pick onto Scalar was, well, the mistake they were looking for.
It does open up a window of opportunity. It's great moves by Kanga to make it happen, to ultimately put 1.PoinT on the back foot and enabled We Have Org to get that first point in such a fast time, against what we'd expect them to do so. Hopefully it's not going to happen again for 1.PoinT, and they still want to maintain the dominant victory in this series. Going to eat up that flame strike. Nice to know they can get in there. He's pressing forward with the attack. Bat moving in, straight against Chubbs. They're trying to corner him, but they're unable to get a kill until SuperPluke throws that flame strike through him. 12 does answer with forfeit, so now it's about how fast can We Have Org regroup and take the fight to 1.PoinT and capitalize on the man advantage from the spawn distance needed to be traveled.
Well, for the first time in the fight as well, Twals just came out on top despite losing with more ult charge than what Hardest has got. He was in that front line for quite a while. He did negate a lot of Hardest damage with this projected barrier as well, not projected self barrier, I suppose you call it at this point, to keep himself going. They've given more room away this time as well, just aware that maybe if they get themselves picked off again, they're in dangerous territory. So
they didn't have him.
Go and play point instead, exactly. Didn't want to get more members picked off and lose that fight.
Now they're going to fight over the point itself. So We Have Org taking a lot of territory. Kremstorm now low. Will stay alive and get that healing coming in. Graviton Surge pulls them against the point, but they're in cover behind 1.PoinT, which forces a reposition. Not going to find anything for it. There's the Earth Shatter online for SuperPluke. Scalar does have defensive ult. Kara's already burnt his to keep them all alive, and 12 is moving towards that grab of his own. There's the rally, free armor reinforcement. Shatter finds 2. Protective barrier will keep 12 up. And it also buys enough time to keep his allies alive. Graviton Surge finding him. There's the Transcendence. Hardest going down low. He's staying alive though through it all, even with the Orb of Discord on top of his head. There's stuff coming over. They have to block it out. 1.PoinT still finding the kills off the back of Hardest grab, and they're going to be able to lock this one down.
That shows just how punishing a team like 1.PoinT can be, because We Have Org played the start of that so ridiculously well. They got grabbed, they popped down the sound barrier to keep themselves alive.
It didn't kill Hardest. That was the problem.
It forced, no, I mean the first one, when they got, when We Have Org themselves got pinned. SuperPluke didn't manage to get anyone down, and he lost his barrier early. They're like, great, here's our counter. Hardest nearly died, but again, the support's coming through big. Last second trans came out from Scalar, kept him alive, and they hard punished him on the return. So 1.PoinT showing they can take it as good as they can give it.
That was a cancelled shatter for Chubbs. He went to go for that one, and he got stunned up by Horfix. So big plays there, denies them any chance of playing off the back of that ult. Then Shatter coming in, Chubbs, Kara, and Twals all on their backsides. Not going to get that kill though, because they're playing quite forward away from that backline. They were knocked down, and Transcendence there to keep them topped up. Shatter now from Chubbs. This one's not going to connect as it went into the shield of SuperPluke, who picks up a kill onto Kara and removes the mobility from this composition. 1 minute 30 left on the clock, and We Have Org unable to get a dominant fight here until 12 has taken out SuperPluke, and the Transcendence is forced to come out. Was for that Reinhardt to keep him alive, but just came in a little bit too late. And now Horfik has gone down as well. 2-man advantage for We Have Org. They need to press on the attack now and capitalize.
You have to admire the staying power of We Have Org in these last few fights. They aren't being forced out as early as maybe you would expect after how the series has gone so far. But We Have Org will get this point. It took them about 3 minutes, but I can say some fights here are actually looking very dominating against 1.PoinT. Yes, they survived the one that was on point initially. And here potentially is their final defense to try and force We Have Org away.
1 minute left in the time bank. They're playing the offensive game. They have to retake territory, which is always harder. Sound barrier being used. Scalar still finds Chubbs, and another one onto Spoxes. This guy's fragging out as SuperPluke goes in with a charge after Scalar finds his 3rd kill of the fight. Hardest going to move forward. He's got a Graviton Surge in his pocket. One more fight. Should be able to seal the deal here if We Have Org cannot capture. But they got 75% on the board, so that's at least the benchmark to fight to.
Depends how long they can stall Krem's out for here as well. A good amount of time does mean that this last fight will be a bit of a desperate one now. So it just goes to show again, stalling can pay quite a lot into your favour. We have got a few ults online to play with if they really want to, but I'm looking at Scalar here with that Transcendence about to come online. They've been big so far. Can they be bigger?
The long range grab goes unpunished. I don't think Krems was there to do anything about it. They're going to turn it back the round back being caught out. They're going to throw out a counter shatter to stem the blow. So a lot of bodies lying down and taking a nap, but Krem's over the top finds Hardest. One of the key players for OnePoint just removed from the field, but they need to touch the point. They've got a body on there building up progress. It's forcing OnePoint to retreat, show their backs, but we have Org, and they're going to be punished for it. Kanga taking out Scalar. Getamaze is also going to be having demexed by Kara. The rest of the team is moving in, and we have Org are going to get this point A capture.
Just in overtime as well, so ridiculously close, and I said it as well, Scalar with the Transcendence got in there and saved his team after they got shattered, but it wasn't enough to keep Hardest alive from a 1000 damage self-destruct, which as we all know will go through that 300 health per second that the Transcendence provides. And well, with Hardest out of the way, like you say, key DPS, key barrier provider, key member of the team, they won that 6 versus 5, and now they might just roll over onto the second.
They've lost Horfic as well. They've got no CC to combo a shatter from Superpluke. He can't even get that shatter up. He's struggling to stay alive at the moment. But we have Org on the point. The Graviton Surge pulls them together. They can't get him to touch. Look at the momentum play from We Have Org. They're going to complete this round again.
I would love to know what these guys spoke about after the second round, because I said it halfway through that round as well. They've come out in every single fight and took the fight to 1 point, picking off Scalar in the last round. When it came down to this round, in fact, they still have time remaining as well, so they get at least 1 minute. That's the big one.
1.9 seconds remaining denies a draw on this attempt for both teams, because, like we said, if you're not familiar with how this works in competitive rules, if you do it in overtime and your opposing team finishes with more than 1 minute in the time bank, they just have an offense and you do not get a last chance attempt. The fact that they finish with 1.9 seconds means they will get another attempt if 1 point complete, regardless of their time bank.
Absolutely, but to round out that point about We Have Org, in that last round, every single fight that it came to in the tank versus tank matchup, they didn't lose it in the first few seconds. They forced ults out at 1 point. They got picks against 1 point, which is the big one for them, and actually looked like a team transformed. I don't know if they had a few talks after Numbani. We spoke about it a lot at the half, with armor packs going to the wrong place, Discord ores maybe being in the wrong location too, barriers being given to the wrong person, but it looks a lot cleaner now because Chubbs is generally staying alive a lot longer in these fights. They're picking up kills against 1 point and catching them off guard sometimes, which to me, although it's in the middle of a series, has shown a huge state of improvement for them.
They've got to contend against the 5 minute, 5 second time back coming out from 1 point. There's not wiggle room, shall we say, when you come around to that one, because 5 minutes is a map completion time. You can do that quite handily. You saw We Have Org basically do it in a minute.
I love how the observers have so much fun watching a swinging tire.
Yeah. they have some fun. Why not? They may as well let themselves have some freedom. We Have Org denying freedom to 1 point as they're pushing very far forward ahead. Chubbs has expected barrier on him, stand up on the Superpluke, but nothing came of it. Now Spox is going to be picked off.
Wow.
That was a bit of a mistake, but We Have Org in 1 point, doing the right thing there, capitalizing on it. Superpluke moves forwards, takes out Chubbs. Looking for Krems, nice right click there, will burst his HP bar with one less tank. They should be able to keep Krems alive, but the D-Mech comes in, back finding a double kill into Kara and Kanga. Nice roll over here for 1 point, will take point A with a lot of time to spare.
Bit of cast a curse there, I think, as well, because as I compliment them, they play very far apart, play very split, and 1 point are just like, well, hit that speed boost button, we're going to charge it now, we are going to kill one of their members of their team, turn into a 6 versus 5 and win off that alone. If We Have Org were together, they could have punished that move, but didn't have the opportunity to.
Spoxes wasn't mechanically pinned to that pillar, he was just positionally pinned, right? It didn't like CC him there, it's just they put bodies on the point and just corner them away from his team. It's like, you're going to die, end of, no questions about it. Finish him off, and then you just have a man advantage. You don't have a shield bash to try and protect just Reinhardt if he gets too close to the opposing one, but they're going to play up against this choke again. We Have Org able to put some foothold down. Earthshatter comes down. Spox is again going down way too early in this fight. He's caught out by the Earthshatter, and Horfic's there to finish him off. Hardest then takes out Chubbs as well. The kills are just coming in too fast for We Have Org to deal with. They're going to get a lot of percentage on the board this time.
Oh, even nice right click as well coming through at the very end to get some damage down by the looks of it. No kills coming through at the back of that, but now Spox is back on point contesting. He's the only one there. It's just stall tactics at this point. Tridd, they do have a trance, just going to chill out there and hover, levitate for a short while, shall we say?
May as well at this point. Self-destruct comes down, won't find anyone. Hardest is being the person to pick up the kill. Swall's very close to getting Graviton Surge, but if that kills him, it's not going to happen. Shattered off the point, and Kara is denied the stall even further by Horfic there with the rocket flail at the end. So We Have Org do get another attempt, but look at the time back difference when it presents itself here. 1 minute for We Have Org, 4 minutes 39 for 1 point.
But if you asked me at the start of this series, will We Have Org take this into the third overtime? I would have said no. And I'm really impressed that they've managed to twice in a row complete this out against 1 point. Now they've got to go and do it again, though, mind you, with 1 minute on the clock against the 4 minutes 39 for 1 point. That round was a bit scrappier. Both fights that they lost ultimately pretty much straight away was because they were so split apart. Spox, as you called it out yourself as well, getting caught off to the side, being punished for that mispositioning. I want to see him a bit closer to the Rhine in this case as well. Make use of that big rectangular shield. It's the main reason why you pick the Rhine.
Rather than
make use of it.
I feel like the Brig shield is like the A5 of Ryan's A4. You know your paper sizes. It's just folded in half, just there.
Several times
Several
as well.
times, yeah.
His is the A1, she's probably the A5, if not the A6.
Yeah, a little bit there. But it's a problem for the Brigitte. If you are off at an angle, if you also have less of a shield to play with in terms of the HP or the damage it can take, got to be using your Rhine shields when you can. And especially when you predict shatters coming out as well, it is safer for you to be behind your Reinhardt and have also your Zarya protect him with the bubble to stop the Bash Shatter combo coming in. Pretty much guarantees you're not going to be affected by it, but it's so hard to time it, and you can be caught off guard quite easily.
I spoke to Holt a couple of weeks ago actually about his Brigitte and what makes him so scary, and he said, well, always I'm watching for mistakes from their Brigitte or from their Rhine. We just saw the Brigitte make a number of mistakes, and his team hard capitalised on that as well, and that's why they won. Now let's see if we have all can play as well as they did last time round and close this one out.
Well, maybe a lucky right click from Kanga or a well-placed bomb from
But they're still alive.
Just like last time, might be able to burn this one through, because at the moment they're just trading HP bars. Paul's getting stunned up there before he could finish off the kills. Holt going down low. Krems has found him. That opens it up. Now we have all to really press the momentum on this one. Krems finding a second kill. He doesn't need the bomb to create openings for his team. He's going to do it with just his gun. Spox is going to demate. Twirl's going to finish off Get Amaze. There's the fast cap coming in, for which we have all will be rewarded another 30 seconds.
The fights they're winning are the ones where when it comes to the first round of cooldowns being used almost, and OnePoint's aggression when they burn those shields, the projected barriers early on to get hardest charge, as long as they hang around for a bit longer and wait for the advantage to go in their favor, we have Org are winning these fights. Now they've got to translate it again into the 6th point for them on Horizon.
Here's the problem though, they will get that 6th point, but it is definitely going to be done in overtime. I don't think there's any way they can do it in 20 seconds, especially with resistance from OnePoint.
Only if OnePoint actually stepped off the point and opened up the red card.
I don't think they will, unfortunately. The Graviton Surge is going to deter all that. The Transcendence will keep them alive. They're pinned against the wall. It's buying more time. 10 seconds remaining. They just have to touch at 0 seconds to trigger overtime. There's the Graviton Surge. Horfig and Scaler. Earthshatter finds multiple members of We Have All keep them on the point. Here comes the sound barrier. Laying over with OnePoint's own version. Self-destruct goes up into the sky. Around the pillars, Kanga still found. Superpoop's found. Spoxes. Horfig's going to take out Chubb. That's all she wrote for We Have All offense.
Absolutely. Again, that's a little self-destructive in the air there. They're going to pick him off those while immediately killing the Diva before he can remech, and it's only Kara left alive at this point. Overtime will tick down, and We Have All, they are ended with 5 points on the clock. So all OnePoint have got to do is capture 33% of that 2nd point, and Horizon and the series is theirs.
Every map matters for OnePoint, because well, I'm going to keep telling you about it. They need to get more map wins than Angry Titans in their matchup later today. If they drop a map here, they are really praying for British Hurricane to come out in force here. All they would need to do, if OnePoint get a 4-0, British Hurricane would just need to win one map, which is entirely feasible in their matchup against Angry Titans. OnePoint, 4 minutes 39. Like Des said, 33% of that 2nd point will guarantee them the win.
Oh, look, there we are on the globe.
You actually, like, just to point out to everyone, Des actually pointed to the center of Spain as he said that.
That's not Spain.
Yes,
not from my perspective, it wasn't.
It definitely was the top of Spain, mate. Come on.
I was pointing at Europe, to be fair.
We were covered by the clouds.
It makes you realise how small we are.
Very true. In comparison to Africa, which is massive on that globe.
I know,
More about this matchup, though.
Absolutely.
OnePoint, need to go on this offense, 20 seconds to prep. They're looking at potentially going with an offensive option, but I don't think Scaler's going to stay on the Genji as much as I'd love him to. Going to go for the Goats versus Goats matchup. We have Org using those long sight lines. Kara on the Ana, Kanga on the Zenyatta.
It's going to be a rough one as well. You know full well that OnePoint later on will be in the chat for Hurricanes game, spamming Fangs out in that chat. They fully want them to be able to take that series in. Well, if nothing else, take some maps away from Angry Titans. One map is all they need as long as they take this series 4-0. They're on course, it feels, with 4.5 minutes in the time bank to take this map away. But we have seen We Have All show strong resistance as the series has gone on. So I'm excited to see if here they can hold them back. But 1 kill is all it takes. And well, in their case, 1 kill onto OnePoint is what's going to start this tempo of this match off.
Taking out Scaler already. So this time they're on the defense, so it's not as impactful as getting an offensive kill on a Zenyatta. They have time to recover for that one. OnePoint have the luxury of time, if that's anything they have in this matchup. 4 minutes about to hit, which is what they started their first attempt with. So sitting quite comfortable right now. Do need to start getting some momentum against We Have Org and start building up these ultimates, because they're going to be crucial. They want to try and roll over to point B, but they're going to move into that high ground now. Take over the control, try and force We Have Org away from it before transitioning to the point.
High ground is where they start their fight. It's always the best place to have when you're starting out in tanks because you can descend to the low ground, but you can't reascend hard. It's almost getting burst out,
He's been denied healing
alive
as well. That bionic grenade from Kara, absolutely big.
Did the work for him, but Fat got hold of Chubbs here, so down their main tank. That does mean 1Point now have scope to just heal up and push back in again. Everyone's full health bar, get amazed, but who cares? He's in there fighting, trying to get on that battle, and he gets D-Met for it as well.
His Met cares about it because he's just lost it. Graviton Surge coming out from hardest, though. That's going to be a decisive fight
Battle
win.
Diva.
1Point going to get it down. Get amazed still doesn't have a mech. I believe he had quite a lot of ult charge in his pocket, though, so he doesn't want to go back and lose that. He's going to try and build it up naturally. Oh, no, he's going to sacrifice his ult charge. He just wants to play it.
They just want to go and win this one out. With 3 minutes of 40 in the clock as well, it's definitely not a hard feat. Like I said, 33% is all they need to win this one out and take us through into map 4 and guarantee themselves the series.
Okay, he's got that Coalescence online. Super Fluke as well with the Shatter, and Horford's about to get the rally. That will be joining very quickly as well. We have Walk have that 4 ult combo online. Troll's about to make that 5. Shatter goes down. Bubble comes in a little bit too late to save Chubb. Self-destruct up high. The Transcendence will do the saving for him. Get amazed off to the side, isolated from the team. That Monkey leaps in, comes straight back down behind Super Fluke. No protective barrier to keep him alive. Hardest will find Kangy. Graviton Surge pulls them together. There's the primal rage to create a meat tenderizer for that Monkey to just spam them with those fists. Not going to get any kills. This position is there. Ultimately, 1Point are going to get back on the point, but hang on a minute. We have Orga getting killed. Super Quick, 4-figure gone down. They fought off this first offense. 2 minutes 50 on the clock. They could force a tie here. They'll lose the series, but Dez, they could play spoiler for 1Point's first place aspirations.
Yeah, I spoke about 1Point being in the chat for British Hurricane later, but either way you look at it, Angry Titans are in here now spamming for We Have Org to win this one out. The Who Win hashtag for these boys is going to be live and well for them. Now, holding off one is going to be tough because they're playing into ultimates now. And guess what the only ultimate online is, Tridd? It's going to be harder for the ultimate. Where's Kangy with the trans? He's at 13%. That makes it very dangerous if 1Point go for a really aggressive push right now.
Barrier as well, Des. That's big. They don't have defensive ultimate. They're going to really be relying on Chubbs and friends to get up a lot of this damage with the defense matrix and the shield. If they misplace this or Horford comes in with a stun, it's all over. And look at this. Chubbs has already been burst out. There comes the Graviton Surge. Get a maze laser bomb on top. Chubbs is about to die. They're going to throw the Earth Shatter as well. They're not having any of it. 1Point. Finish out the map. Go 3-0 in this series and confirm they will have a top 2 finish with that win. So they're guaranteed the auto qualification for next year. Can they seal the deal? Put them in prime position for that first place, though. Again, a lot of it's going to come down to that series later on, but they're doing all they can right now, and it's looking impressive. And We Have Org, you got to give them some credit. Came in today, looked at the team sheets and said that is probably going to be the most one-sided matchup we'll see. But I think on that map alone, you would never guess from how the first half of the series gone that we would see that performance coming out of We Have Org. It was a very, very good map to watch and shown that these players have got fight in them. We speak about this a lot for these teams that are at the bottom of groups as well, is that for the players, it's about proving themselves, showing they've got some fight in them. And I think all of them can walk away saying we definitely showed we had fight on Horizon against 1Point. Still got one more fight to go. Map number 4. It's going to be an escort type. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to series. Welcome back. We're about to finish off this series. 1 Point versus we have Org, who have currently secured the victory in the series with a 3-0 scoreline so far. We're about to jump onto the 4th map, and this is important for 1 Point. Keep on talking about it. It's all about who can get more map wins today, them or Angry Titans. And getting a 4-0 guarantees they did everything they could. One team stands in their way. We have Org. Won't win the series, can win this last map, though.
Can play spoiler as that seems to be go-to term to describe what they can do. And Dorado, well, not so much the opportunity, I think, to provide as big a spoiler as we saw on Assault, because Assault, of course, if you win 1 point, you can normally roll over and go on to the 2nd point with ults in combo and go and try and win at the back of that.
Say that, but Giganti on escort maps, when they can do it in 1 minute.
We have all gone Giganti.
Very true. But I'm saying, like, 1 minute, that's all you kind of need.
I think the thing is with maps like this is you have to win more fights back to back to back to back to be able to roll forward. It's going to be the issue.
It's actually what we discussed on broadcast yesterday.
Hey, it seems to be a constant conversation. Clearly something we really like talking about. But it's definitely going to be a struggle, right? We do have the opportunity to cause some upset and some surprises, you might say, but for 1 point, this is their bread and butter, I think. We saw exactly how 2nd map went as well when it came to that sort of stuff. They just rolled them over, held down 1st point really well. They're very good at holding these points unless they get caught off guards. And you're not punished as heavily when it comes to payload maps when you get caught off guard.
I believe that was a quick little disconnect there from Get Amazed. So we're going to wait for him to reconnect, join the game back, and then we'll get it back to you as well. See, we don't want to be playing 5v6. Technically, actually, if you read the rules, it's against the rules to play 5v6.
You have to get him back in.
We don't write those, we just enforce them.
And the guy's been playing really well. Why would you not want him on side in a game as important as this one? You
we have Org,
exactly. They don't. Yeah. So there's 6 people. Everyone else wants to see him. He put out a wicked guide, by the way. 10 ways to use Diva Bomb. If you're ever curious.
Yeah, like, I actually was very curious about that. And people, I'm going to be very blunt about it, people would be a little bit concerned about the state of English because he is a French national. English is his 2nd language. But I was surprised at how clear he could actually communicate what he wanted to get across. It's very good. It's a very good video.
It's a very good learning resource if you are a Diva player. He did say, I still have some that I won't tell you about because I use them and no one else does. And I was like, smart man, smart man. He's got it all under wraps in here.
Yeah, because like, it gives away the tools of the trade too much. Then, you know, people are going to start knowing to look for it in competitive matches. He's still pro player. Maybe when he retires, he'll just unleash his playbook.
Here's my arsenal of 1,000 ways to use Diva Bomb. Everyone will be like, oh my God, this guy's put so much work in.
Well, I believe we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll hopefully bring you that 4th map. Welcome back to Overwatch Contenders. Some fast move hand movements there from Dezachu, who nearly got caught off guard by us coming back from the break, but thankfully he didn't. He's a professional.
Straight in there as well. Hopefully 1 point. Get Amazed is straight back into the game is what we're riding on. It's the reason why we are back. He did disconnect just before we had that very short interlude. Now we get to see if they are going to be able to complete Dorado and take the 4-0, or if we have Org, as we keep on saying, can play spoiler.
What a dream that would be.
It'd be nice to walk away at the end of your season. Oh, that team is 0-4 that no one worried about. Yeah, we just took a map away from the guys and denied them the top spot.
I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit. I do genuinely believe that expecting British Hurricane to not win a single map against Angry Titans is a big ask, right?
Yeah.
So I feel as though there'd be more tension on the line in that 3rd map if at 1 point were to drop this map. come on, don't give me that. It's more likely we're going to see British Hurricane take at least a map from Angry Titans, right?
Yeah, it's more likely, I guess.
But
okay,
I'm saying,
fair play.
if we have Org win this map, that really does put the tension, because it's not one map they have to win. They have to win at least 2. That really opens it up a little bit more.
My only thinking in this is you think about how strong Angry Titans were, that they could bring down 1.0 as well.
Yeah.
And with relative style as well now, think about it. The guys are very, very good and able to respond to the team that gave them heartache last year. Let's not forget they were in the finals against Eagle Gaming and it punished them last time round.
If we have Org don't play spoiler here, could we say the real spoiler is Shu's Money Crew beating Angry Titans? Because they wouldn't even be in this predicament if they didn't lose to SMC.
That is very true. They'd be 4-0. They'd be about to hit the 5-0 if they beat British Hurricane, of course. Very true.
So SMC, the real spoilers.
What a surprise. It's all the smaller teams that are actually eventually providing big upsets at the top end of the table.
What a world we live in, Des. Anyway, 1 point on defense first. Running with standard goat. Same as we have Org. Mirror matchup. Fighting in this first corner. Hardest drawing first blood against Chubbs. Not long to travel away from the spawn room, though.
Not long at all. They'll be like, oh, it's okay, guys, go next, because we are literally right in front of spawn and can go again. And it's actually Horthick who's basically at the forefront of the ult charge in this game. It's quite funny to see him already 50% on the Brigitte. So this guy goes ham. You see him so many times getting 2 or 3 kills in the kill feed, where he literally beelines it into the middle of the enemy team and swings away because he knows Hardest has got his back. He's his boy.
Yeah, he's been dragged back into the brig from after he was allowed to play Genji on map 3, which was quite a sight. Plays it for 1 play, gets an ult off, and then has to go back to playing Brigitte.
He cleans up with that 1 play as well.
Yeah, well, he's cleaning up with Brigitte as well, finding Chubb as well with that mace. I don't know, it's definitely a mace.
It's a rocket flail, isn't it?
Well, I call it rocket flail.
I guess it's a mace,
the shift is the rocket flail.
It's a fuel-fed mace, all right? It's got rocket boosters on. It's cool. It hurts and it does damage, just like most of the lineup, to be fair, for 1 point they do hurt.
What is it with the 2 Europeans basically going, you know what? We're just going to put, like, rocket boosters on melee weapons.
Why not, man? It's cool.
And just bludgeon you at, like, Mach 1 speeds.
Well, they're from the same place. Evolve clearly a place that likes rockets. However, without everything else going off, there was a Transcendence that came out in the mix there. Seems that it's more of a we have Org fight going against them. Superfluke finds himself off.
One jump to the wrong side. Superfluke actually jumping there enabled that shadow to go underneath the shield and actually hit him.
There's the big brain bomb.
Get amazed, obviously. Find a Kango on the back line. Superfluke now finally going to go down. So we have Org have that definitive fight win to get the payload in motion.
But it took them 2 minutes to do so, and the reason why you see full holds like this coming in from 1 point is because you know that you can take that kind of fight, lose, and still get back in time to defend this first point in the market, which is your next kind of favourable position to fight back against. And in this instance here, Kara's got the ultimate online with the sound barrier. They're looking towards that in the next fight to be the advantage they've got to play with. On the other side, really, Superfluke and that Earth Shadow is all they've got to play around. And he's still got to get it online before they get comboed out by We Have Org.
There's a self-destruct going up high. Krem's throwing that one in nice and early. No one going to be found. Hardest is getting a little bit low. Superfluke going to take out spots, but no problem. He finds Chubb as well. Both shield bearers going down as well. Takes out Kanga. Doesn't take out Kanga. He takes out Gitamaze. The back of Kanga's D-mech. Gets Gitamaze. 1 minute 30 on the clock. We have Org been sent back to their spawn room. Going to have to try and go back at it again.
I like how Hardest literally held on to the last second to that projected barrier as well before he dropped it onto Superfluke, because they were expecting the focus fire to come onto him, as we often see, to burn through the barrier, get that shield down from the shield bash coming out of boxes, and then try and catch 2 or 3 members with that. But by saving it until literally the last second, there was no way they could unload all that damage onto the shield in time to bring it down.
Chubbs is about to get an Earth Shatter of his own to match Superfluke, but the real difference maker for We Have Org is the support ultimate and that Graviton Surge. Speaking of ultimates being used, that's a clean one for 1 point. Superfluke nailing We Have Org with that huge shatter, and the rest of the team's going to follow up. 45 seconds remaining, but the myriad of ults is coming online for We Have Org.
And this is what I mean, right, is that with Horizon, you can win 2 maps in a row, or Hanamura sometimes as well. You can win 2 fights and you basically win the whole map, as we saw We Have Org do on their overtime push. Here they won that first fight and haven't been able to get any ground since. They didn't lose much in the form of 1 point. They could probably afford to lose this fight and still get back to contest once again. They've got to win this one final fight, and that's it done for We Have Org.
Graviton Surge put into the mark, still not going to find barely any members of We Have Org. They can mainly escape from that one. They're still going to commit to the fight. They know if they win this, they win the maps. Going to keep going at it. Sound barrier used on both sides. Everyone's going to be topped up with those shields. 10 seconds remaining. The fight's still being contested. No one's lost their life just yet. And ultimates have been dispersed. People are building up towards their next set. Krem's going to be the first one to get one online, but they've already found a kill when Horthick and Superfluke self-destruct over the top. No shields to block out the damage. They get the payload in motion. There's a D-mech as well coming out from Krem's self-destruct. There's no tanks on the point. We Have Org are going to force out some more time banks.
They absolutely do. So 4 minutes expended on this first point. A bit of a scrap and a heart-stopping final fight to guarantee that they will get that first point and get the push on. Looked a bit scary for a second when Chubbs did go down, but either way, they still had the kills flowing in their favor around that single kill coming through for 1.Point. And like I say, second point attempt, maybe now we see some changes up where both teams could go towards a Winston if they want to play more high ground based. But with it being 1.Point, full likelihood is we just see them stay on Ryan and continue playing goats.
They just press W, just run at you. What else do you expect?
W mouse 1, that's all you need.
Well, sometimes mouse 2 if you're Reinhardt, they push forward. Twirls, gonna be caught out here. Dropping down, super quick, swinging that hammer to get the kill. Chubb's going down very low, and the Orb of Harmony doesn't provide enough healing. They needed the burst from the armor pack, they just couldn't get it onto him in time. Scale, of course, taking out Chubbs. Hardest with D-Mech on the Krem. So, 1 minute 50 left. They've already burned through 40 seconds of that additional time we have all gave themselves, and the payload not really moved anywhere.
Of course, that's actually getting away thanks to that heal pack coming out, but obviously didn't do enough. Now they managed to pin them back, not so much in towards spawn, but just as they've got over first point, they're already being held here with 1 minute and 30 left. So you're looking at 3 fights, and we have Org here to break through and get towards that second point. That's quite a tall order against the side in 1Point that has been very dominant so far.
If they're fast fights, you're expecting about 30 seconds to fight. Earth Shadow through the payload, they bring out the protective barrier too late. Doesn't block the CC, will block the follow-up damage though. Here comes the Transcendence to negate anything coming through from 1Point. Graviton Surge, more successful this time from Hardest. Self-destruct dropping down, Krems is there, won't get affected by the explosive, but the damage still comes out. Will fly away, can they get the last second D-Mech? Nah, he's got enough healing to keep him up, but he does have to go back to the spawn room. Hardest, of course, weaving these mortars to find the backline support.
Caught Carr on his way out there, really, really impressive stuff just to stagger them out a little bit longer. Lucio is quite a staple part of GOAT because of the move speed he provides, enables you to engage, to disengage, to relocate, reposition, whatever you want to call it. Without him, you do need to wait for him to be there before you can go for these fights, because Lucio or no Lucio, you're definitely going to want him on side.
Got a lot of ultimates in their pocket, 35 seconds remaining, so just over 1 fight. Get him, he's already been D-mech'd by Kanga, so he's not going to be able to eat this grab coming out from Twirls. Self-destruct sat on top of them. They're going to lift that shield up and protect the team, but no one took any damage from the ground level. Zero unable to make that fight capitalize. Sound barrier is being used, 20 seconds remaining. Kanga's still got the Transcendent Scaler. It's a little bit off from here. Superfoot's got the Earth Shadow. Chubb's already used his. They're going to counter Shadow now. Chubb being kept alive by that Transcendent from Kanga. They're trying to burn through with the Orb of Discord. Can't do it. Superfoot going down low, keeping healed up. Orb of Harmony's there. Armor pack comes in at the last second. Will top him up and make sure he doesn't drop down. But the rest of them is so low. Krem's been D-mech'd. Superfoot's finding kills. Back found Krems after he was taking out the mech. This is 1Point rolling over them. They're going to kill it all in overtime. They're going to end their push right now.
If you ever wanted to hire a former Overwatch player for a role that was high stress, high pressure, normally causes sweats in normal people, just hire a Ryan main. These guys are used to being sub 100 HP pretty much all the time. I think Superfluke spent more of that fight below 50 HP than he did healthy.
I'm going to go to a bar later and I'm going to look at one of those tabletop machines. I'm going to pull the spring. And it's not going to be a pinball that gets released into machine. It's going to be a Reinhardt. Bashing around everywhere, getting beaten, bullied by everyone. It's ironic because he's the beefiest character in the game.
And still gets bullied around quite a lot. And the thing is that he managed to survive all of that as well. Now, whether that's a question of, in that small lapse before the armor pack came through, before the healing came through, whether we have all could have focused more, or if it was teammates actually keeping them away from him to keep him alive is a completely different conversation to have. But ultimately what counts is he did stay alive, they did win the fight, and we have Org now have got to defend after a very short push after first point. Well, 1Point have got 4 minutes to make the magic happen.
4 minutes. They'll get an extra 230 guaranteed if they're going to even contend this map from win, because they have to force out second phase of this map. They give them 2 minutes 30 for doing just that. So technically, once it gets down the line, 6 minutes 30 to match the distance from We Have Org.
I won't lie to you though, you win this first point as 1Point, chances are you are going to win at least one
catch him
fight.
on the split full spawn.
In that 2.5 minutes, you have probably 3, 4, 5, at least 5 fights, I'd say, going through that. And realistically, against this team, 1Point, good luck holding them off for 5 fights.
You got to remember that like We Have Org had the exact same time, because obviously he did it in overtime. So that 2 minutes 30 is possible to hold it. Just because there's a different caliber of team doesn't mean it's out the realm of possibility. We need to accept this happening. Right?
Anything is a possibility, but the likelihood, and you know, in Overwatch most of the time it will come down to, you can reliably predict what percentage of fights the team will win on a map, I'd like to think.
It's the consistency more than anything,
Absolutely. Right? That's exactly what it comes down to in difference, is synergy and consistency.
Already, Horford taking the fight to Chubbs, protects barrier, keeps him away from that CC, and Krems has to take cover. He's got an Orb Discord on him. They need that passively, not the armor pack being used just yet. They might need to save it over to Superfluke. He's really feeling it at the moment. Krems will get D-mech. That comes off cooldown at the right minute. I'm so glad we're watching Horford, because we can watch it on cooldown. Throws out that armor pack, keeps his Reinhardt alive, and the rest of 1Point will do the work to clear out We Have Org.
I'd say Horford doing the work with the armor packs more than anything else there as well. Otherwise, just flailing away onto those supports who got a little bit too close. Hello, it's us.
Hello, everyone.
You get to see us in action.
Yeah, just a lot closer to the screen, blocking every logo, unfortunately.
Well, they pushed them all the way back here, straight into the corner, and already pushing their way into market. It's not too far to go for that first point, so we have Org. They've got to take the fight to them now, otherwise it's going to be 5.5 minutes to end this map.
Chubb's getting a charge on the back. Will start pushing this back, and we have Org's favour. Horfik does answer with spots as he loses life to Kanga. Superluke sitting on an ultimate. I don't know who wants to commit it. They're not retreating, so they are thinking about entertaining this fight, even whilst losing 2 members. Throws it through the payload. Forces the trans out. Kara's about to get that sound barrier as well. Chubb, bear in mind, he's got no shadow of his own. Scaler, get him and Fat on the back line. They throw out a Graviton Surge to pull them away from their downed members, but it finds no one, so ultimately it's a waste. And Scaler and Horfik are going down with ultimates. Still have 2 minutes 30 on the clock to finish out checkpoint A.
That's unfortunate because Scaler got just back up as he got killed. So if he'd literally been another half a second or so, he could have brought up the trans and saved his team from the after effects of that Earth Shadow. But they get picked off, they have to reset. It's not the end of the world, 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. We have Org now in a spot where they have tools to stop them. The sound barrier is about to come online. They've got the combo there if they need it as well. You can even see Twals looking on the corner here with the Graviton Surge, waiting for them to run, and there it is.
They don't have tools to stop him dead, they have Twals to stop him as he throws out the Graviton Surge, and Krem's going to take out hardest with that self-destruct. This time Giname is going to find Carlo with one of his own. He wasn't behind the shield, he's jumping around, and he's going to go down with the sound barrier. 1 point, need to do something with this time as they take out Twals. Finally, it's Scaler throwing the hands. Number 2 for him in this fight. He's going to throw out the Orb of Destruction. Nice charge, counter charge immediately to push him out into the fight. This is Get Amazed. Mech going down. Superluke will take out Kanga. Scaler gets the D-Mech onto Krems. You want to try and kill them as fast as possible. You don't stall them when they're on the payload. I'm just going to throw orbs through that small choke. Keep him away from the point, get this extra 2 minutes 30 for a very minuscule 24 meters.
Getamaze is out of his mech right now as well, so he needs to get this to the point like this. There we go, 4 minutes remaining to get just round a single corner, Tridd.
24 meters, Des.
Not a lot to do, I won't even lie to you. Getamaze is about to get his mech back as well, so it won't be a super disadvantageous fight for them once he is back in there. They've got the sound barrier on side. Kara has the same story as well. Looking towards that potential Earth Shadow out of Chubbs as long as they can get this combo down right.
Well, not able to get the combo down, unfortunately, that time. Sound barrier comes out from 1 point. Superluke with the charge on the Chubbs. There's the sound barrier finally coming up from Kara, but it's too late to save their Reinhardt. Shatter will find Spoxes and 12 on the back line, and look at the focus damage coming out from 1 point to really sell that Earth Shatter. There's the Transcendence coming in to try and save Gidamaze's mech, but unfortunately it won't burst through, or burst heal through that self-destruct coming out from him. They're going to clear off the final straggler, which is going to be Kara. Get the payload back in motion as they're in full panic mode to get themselves and try and contest. It's not going to happen for them with 3 minutes remaining on the clock. 1 point secure the 4-0.
And they put themselves in the best position they possibly could coming into week 5 as well. And a good, solid performance as well, like the synergy I was seeing coming out of these guys. We have Org, I think the key difference there was the synergy between the two sides as well. The combos coming out, it's again sometimes barriers or heals going the wrong way where they shouldn't do. But for 1 point, it looked disciplined, and that's what was a really good sign for them coming into playoffs. Still a few kinks to work out, I think, where they did have members a bit far back. Maze getting picked off on Mecha Base, Scaler getting picked off at the start of Horizon. Just little mistakes like that, but those little mistakes is what other teams they come up against in playoffs will begin to exploit if they're not careful.
Forced and unforced errors and how well you can capitalize on them. Hopefully, we're going to speak to some people who don't make many errors. We're going to throw it over to our analyst to close out this series.